The Taylor Swift Super Bowl isn't making everyone happy because right-wing dinguses like Vivek Ramaswamy are claiming this whole thing is a conspiracy, suggesting that the Super Bowl will be rigged for the Chiefs to set the stage for Taylor Swift's Biden endorsement. What? That's whack, Jack. Come on.
Sunglasses and all, thank you for that. If you go to the dark corners of the internet, you can find a litany of off-the-wall conspiracy theories.
And the latest to gain traction surrounds the NFL, the White House, Taylor Swift, pharmaceutical companies, all conspiring to get President Biden reelected this fall. Except this theory isn't just rattling around on Newsmax or your uncle's Facebook page. It's actually literally being amplified by Fox News.
Now there's an online plea circulating that is begging people to become Niners fans for the next 2 weeks, just so it doesn't raise Travis Kelce, a.k.a. Mr. Pfizer's star power, along with, of course, Taylor Swift.
That's persuadable power, and this administration is locked dead set on harnessing that.
But why alienate your fans, the Swifties? You know, they come across from every political ideology. Why put yourself in one area?
Please don't believe everything Taylor Swift says. We're all begging you.
Joining us now to discuss is CNN senior media reporter Oliver Darcy. I'm chuckling, but it's also kind of horrifying, but also kind of hilarious that they're trying to get a bunch of people to support the San Francisco team in alignment with Nancy Pelosi. Can you explain what exactly is going on here?
It's hard to explain because it's so absurd, but the idea, generally speaking, is that the NFL is in cahoots with Taylor Swift and rigging the Super Bowl to set the stage for Taylor Swift then to endorse Joe Biden for the Democrats and the establishment supposedly to wield her star power against Donald Trump in the 2024 election. Now, of course, this is absurd. It sounds absurd to the people in reality, but we shouldn't dismiss it because there are a lot of people, and not so insignificant amount of people, who end up believing these ideas, who view them as attractive. Remember the QAnon conspiracy theory, for instance, which was equally as absurd, if not more. A lot of people ended up believing that conspiracy theory because they're locked in this media universe which feeds them information that supports it. And for people in the Fox News universe and really in other parts of the web, they're being told quite literally that there's a psychological operation happening in this country in plain sight involving Taylor Swift to rig the 2024 election. Sounds absurd, but we shouldn't dismiss it because people do view these ideas as attractive.
All is lost if Roger Goodell has to field a question on a serious question.
The Pentagon has fielded a question on this.
Okay.
I mean, the thing about this is that it might be attractive to a few million people, a sliver of the country, but you do wonder how politically advantageous it is to go to war with Taylor Swift. You know, if you're Donald Trump, I don't think you want to go to war with Taylor Swift. She has a huge legion of fans, an army of supporters who, far outweigh the, crazies who end up believing this stuff. And so it might be lucrative, I think, for some people in right-wing media to feed their base this stuff. I'm not sure if you're someone like Donald Trump, you really want to pit your campaign against the most powerful pop star on Earth.
Particularly not in a national election, given her social media following. The question I have, beyond that, I thought Taylor Swift was ruining the Chiefs and ruining Travis Kelce. Now she's leading them to a Super Bowl because of the PSYOP. The Pfizer connection, can you explain that to people real quick? Because that keeps coming up.
All right, so Kelce participated in a Pfizer campaign. And so now there's this idea that, not only is Taylor Swift apparently controlled by shadow forces. Yes, he's part of the campaign for COVID shots. So the idea is not only is Taylor Swift under the control of these, I guess, sinister forces in the shadows, but also Kelce, is being wielded by them to get people to do the smart thing and get a COVID vaccine. Of course, COVID vaccines are not popular in the right-wing media space. And so, again, you have all these kind of conspiracy theories converging now to really sell this to a portion of Americans.
Do you sit in your office, Oliver, with like a string board like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where you're like, pharma company, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Elon, Vivek, and just connect it all or try to connect it all together?
I don't, but it seems like a lot of people in this universe do because they've finally drawn like this weird conspiracy theory with all these. I mean, it is. If you go down the rabbit hole, it is very strange.
That is an understatement. We appreciate you trying to explain it to us. I don't envy you having to try and figure it out. This is an actual thing. Oliver Darcy, thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
A live look at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, where Super Bowl 58 will kick off in less than 2 weeks. Are you excited?
Yes, obviously.
Phil gets to go. But if you're hoping to get a last-minute ticket, you should dip way into your savings or beyond. Right now, the average resale price for a single ticket, $9,800. $9,800, up 70% from last year, according to the ticket website TickPick. At last check, the cheapest available seat would run you $8,300.
It's Harry Inton-like money.
Money?
Now, someone who doesn't have to worry about ticket prices for the game, not just Harry Inton, who we will shortly introduce, but also Taylor Swift. It's widely assumed she'll make the 17-hour trip from Tokyo to Vegas to see the game after her concert. Her support for boyfriend Travis Kelce is now sparking some bonkers conspiracy theories.
The latest to gain traction surrounds Swift, the NFL, the White House, all conspiring to get Biden reelected. Did we mention that is a conspiracy theory? But the New York Times is reporting the Biden campaign is targeting celebrities and social media stars for potential endorsements. And, of course, Swift at the top of their wish list. CNN senior data reporter Harry Enton with us this morning. That was a big wind-up to all the interesting things you're going to tell us. How much influence does she have?
Yeah, how much influence does Taylor Swift have? I just want to point out, Taylor Swift is really popular among all voters. Her favorable rating is 70%. Among independents, those in the middle, 66%. But I want to focus in on those 18 to 29-year-olds, where she has a favorable rating of 72%. Why am I focusing in on that group? The reason why is that Joe Biden is really struggling amongst this group, all right? This is the Biden versus Trump margin among those 18 to 29-year-olds. Back in 2020, Joe Biden won this group overwhelmingly, look at this, by a 24-point margin. Now look at that margin. It's down to just 2 points. It's one of the worst performances that Joe Biden has in the polls right now relative to what he had back in 2020, and Taylor Swift's very popular amongst that group.
Can I ask you, Senator Phil Bredesen can underscore the scale of the influence. Oh, wait, no, he lost. Yeah. Explain Taylor Swift's prior involvement in politics, which she's talked about.
Yes, she is. She's absolutely talked about it. And I will note that if we look back, okay, Marsha Blackburn won that race. That was Phil Bredesen's opponent back in 2018, right? Blackburn won that race in Tennessee. But nationally, new registration Swift may have driven in 2018 when she called for a call to action. She may have driven over 30,000 new voter registrations back in 2018. And keep in mind this. She has 280 million Instagram followers. Why is that important? Why are Instagram followers important? Because I want you to take a look here. Again, 18 to 29-year-olds, where do they get their news from, at least sometimes? Well, television, which we're on right now, just 41%. But look at social media. This is where the 18 to 29-year-olds are. 69% sometimes, at least sometimes, get their news from social media. So I think the idea behind Swift, hey, she's really popular. She has a lot of Instagram followers. Let's get her out there focusing in on Joe Biden, saying go vote for Joe Biden, because she can reach a very large audience where a lot of 18 to 29-year-olds get their news.
And the national electorate is very different than the Tennessee electorate, even if I kid about that race.
Absolutely, like very far to the right, medium voter, considerably more towards the center.
Fascinating stuff. Harry Enton, as always, my friend, thank you.